the good, the bad, and the ugly of Sorcery Contested Realm. Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. Hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today we're going to be talking about Sorcery Contested Realm. You may have kickstarted this project. This is a game that I have absolutely fallen in love with. The artwork, lots of really cool stuff. But today we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly because they have recently put out a version 0.6 of their rulebook, not their playbook. So I want to have a conversation about where Sorcery is, kind of give you my takes on it, and talk about a few things because this game has a ton of excitement and a ton of hype behind it. So here's what they recently updated if you missed out on this, and I'll try to leave pictures or links in the video too. So first off, they've done an updated print and play that has updated cards and all that kind of stuff. Then they also have updated their kind of, I don't know if their partner website, it's exactly what the connection is, but Curiosa.io and RealmsApp.com, two fantastic websites already designed for this game that are like deck building and that kind of thing. They've updated their partners' websites. They've launched Rulebook 0.6, and we'll talk about that. And they've also updated the Steam Workshop to Tabletop Simulator kind of app and be able to play the game. So Sorcery has this massive amount of hype built up for it, and with that comes criticism and disbelief and a lot of negativity. So I thought it would be fun to sit down and do a good, bad, and ugly of this update and have some just honest feedback and honest dialogue about it. So let's get started. Let's hop in. So first off, I love the open play testing. They launched this thing where you could sign up to be a playtester. I'm going to be a playtester. There's like 300, I think, playtesters in the open play testing thing, and I absolutely love it. I love the idea that a game is willing, I've said the same thing about some other games too, a game that is willing to open the door for its people who love it to come in and play test and provide feedback on cards and you know, that kind of thing. And I think it particularly works really well in a game that is designed to be casual. This game, Sorcery, is designed to be a casual experience, and I think that works really, really well to have some people come in and say, hey, this is what's really fun about the game, and this needs some work. And if I'm going to be playing this at a kitchen table with my friends and family, here are some things that the rules can be clarified on. And so I think that open playtesting thing is a really, really good bit, and I hope that they continue to do it with their next sets too. I hope that they continue to utilize this kind of open playtesting and utilize technology and the community that loves the game to make the game even better. I really, really like that. The second thing I think is really good is that the rulebook cleans up a lot of the things that previously were really frustrating. The previous rulebook, no offense to whoever designed it, whoever created it, it wasn't very good. It was, there was a lot of just discrepancies. I spent a lot of time, I played the game about a week ago, again, I spent a lot of time searching in their Discord server, like rule questions to try to figure out, because the rulebook didn't really answer a lot of things. And that's fine, but if you are going to be mass marketed, you cannot be locked into a Discord server. Not everybody who picks up or kickstarts or who buys this game in an LGS wants to be on Discord and wants to have to go through that. So your rulebook, in my opinion, really has to have a lot of those things honed in. You know, some of the higher end rules and some of those things can be, you know, you can go to there, but you need to be able to figure out a lot of the answers in the rulebook. The previous rulebook did not do that. Now, I have not fully read the new rulebook. I haven't hopped into, I haven't had time to start playtesting. I plan on doing that this week, but I did take a look at the rulebook and looked for some of the things that were missing previously. And the rulebook, it has cleaned up a lot of things. So, things like unit, what signifies a unit is cleaned up, and now it tells you units are both your summons and your hero, not your hero, whatever it's called, your avatar. And then second thing, like navigation, being able to know what is around you. There's a lot of these things that were questions of mine when I was first learning and playing are now answered in the rulebook, and I think that's really good. And it just looks better. It's just a cleaner rulebook. Here's another thing I think is really, really good. 300 people interested in playtesting, in my opinion, gives a lot of credence and a lot of solid reasoning for some of the hype and the prices that you're seeing. 300 people willing to say, hey, yes, I'm going to playtest. I know they're going to be all different levels, but 300 people saying, yes, I'm willing to sign up. I'm willing to go the extra mile and actually play. I'm willing to fill out this whole form. 300 people being willing to playtest, in my mind, is a pretty large number for a game like this. And I think it gives it a little bit of credence to the number of backers, the number of boxes, and the prices of some of the sample cards that are going on. There are a lot of people who are actually interested in learning how to play and making this game something that's really, really cool. And so I think that 300 people interested in playtesting means quite a bit. So those are the good things I think about the game. Now I want to talk about some of the bad things about the game. Number one, it is September. I just dropped my kid off for her first day at preschool. School's back. It's September. 3 months until cards are supposed to be in our hands as backers. That doesn't inspire a lot of confidence when they are just now finishing or just now releasing a second version of the cards. At some point, they have to send it to a printer. At some point, these cards need to be honed in. And this alpha version of the game, it doesn't give a lot of confidence to that November deadline, in my opinion. And on top of that, they've already delayed the game once. And now another 3 months, I just don't have a lot of confidence that we're going to see this product in November. Now, here's the thing. Personally, I'm okay with this. I want to show you something. Personally, I'm okay with this. If you take a look at my board game collection, I have backed quite a bit of Kickstarter games. One of my favorite of which, there's no light back here, so it's going to be a little dark. I have backed a lot of Kickstarter games. One of my favorite of which is like Zombicide. And I'm very, very used to myself seeing these games be delayed and not having cards in hand when I thought I would. And so that's an important factor here, is that if you are a Kickstarter backer, I think you should be kind of normalized to this idea that things get delayed. That being said, there's going to be quite a few people who aren't used to that, who are not naturally used to Kickstarters being delayed. They've never Kickstarted something before, and they're going to be upset. They're going to be angry. So personally, I'm okay with this, but there will be plenty of others who are not okay with this, and that will put a negative outlook into the community of this game. The second thing that I think is kind of bad, and this is a hard one, because this is like the entire industry right now, is that TTS testing tabletop simulator testing is a little bit clunky, and it doesn't really give you the actual feel of a game. And that can be really important. And in particular with Sorcery, when I'm playing on TTS, it feels really clunky because you're stacking cards on top of each other. You're moving cards. It's a grid-based system that has different layers and different levels. Things can go underground. Things can have flying. They can burrow, they can be swimming. There's a lot of different layers to this game, literally layers. And on TTS, it's really hard to test. Now, here's the issue. If it's hard to test on TTS, then what actually happens when we sit it down on a table to actually play it? And that's something that I think we won't know that until 6 months down the road, a year down the road, when we have cards in hand and we're actually playing and decks are being formed, and that question of, is it fun to play on the table when things are moving up and down, is just a hard thing to test on TTS. So those are the two things that I think are bad. Now let's get into this something I think is ugly. Here's the negativity for Sorcery absolutely baffles me. The community, there are a few people in the community who are so negative towards the game and putting out this like question of will they even produce the cards, or will you ever even get the game, and all this stuff, and the negativity and the scam talk. is just sad to me, man. Like, I just get so bummed. Like, nobody has provided any evidence towards this company that's producing Sorcery. Nobody has provided any evidence that they would ever have any desire to scam an entire community. That makes no sense to me. I have zero doubts in my mind that at some point I will own a Kickstarter box of Sorcery. I have zero doubts in my mind that at some point I will receive my boxes. Yet you hear this stuff in the community, this negativity of, oh, they're never even gonna produce the boxes, the game's not even made, they're gonna screw everybody over. That attitude in the TCG industry just baffles me. It just baffles me. It makes me sad. It makes me sad to be a part of the industry that is so negative in that way, that they would assume so poorly of a company like that. So I want to encourage you, if you are on the fence, if you are in that ugly category, right? If you're like, man, whatever, I want to encourage you to understand that you don't have to like Sorcery. You can simply not like it. You can simply move on. It doesn't have to affect your life at all. But I think that Sorcery is going to, it was the #1 Kickstarter game of the year. It's gonna bring in more board game players. Look, board games on Kickstarter are a massive, massive industry. And this will bring in more people from the board game industry into the card game, trading card game industry than any other game ever. And that is a massive, massive win. So, don't look at the negativity. Don't be all bummed about things. If things are delayed, that's going to be the way that it is, and that sucks. Honestly, getting these cards before Christmas would be massive for Sorcery, for the game creator. Think about if you get these cards in the middle of November, early December, and you're sitting around with your family at Christmas time, and your uncle and your aunts and your brothers and your sisters, and you're like, hey, check out this new tabletop game. You know, you're playing board games with your friends and family anyway. Here's a new game, and like the way that this game can grow around the holiday season, in my opinion, is massive. And if they miss that's going to be harder, I think, for the owners of Sorcery than it is even for us. Never mind what it would do for us. So I really think that it'd be awesome to have it before Christmas, but if it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world and you're still going to get your product. Anyway, that's it for my rant. Hope you guys have yourself a fantastic day. Let me know what you think are the good, the bad, and the ugly things about Sorcery and this massive update. Very curious to hear what you think. If you are a playtester or if you have picked up the Tabletop Simulator mod, what are the things that you like right now about the game and what are the things that you don't like? What would you like to see changed? What would you like to see added? That kind of stuff. Have a great day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.